Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the PODCAst, tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash. Straight to the face, I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling's where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to Wrestling's where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Wrestling with them Wrestling Boys. It's your boys, POT and Big E, and we're here to bring you another episode of that fire wrestling content. What's going on, bro?
Fire. What's up, brother?
Hey, man. Hey, it's another one.
41.
Yes, sir.
Old Highway 41.
Brian Piccolo.
Hey. Roman Harper from the University of Alabama.
Right.
Hey, man, it's welcome to Wrestling. It is our 41st episode.
Yes, sir.
And we're back to doing one of the things that we love to do. Is no PLEs coming up, and we're gonna shoot the shit and talk a little bit of wrestling. And seeing that it's the best time of the year right now, it is football season. We're gonna talk a little football too. So, it is late Saturday night, and so we're gonna talk college football. We will talk a little bit of NFL, only to say that our Falcons play the Commanders tomorrow, and we desperately need a W. So we need to have be going on all cylinders tomorrow. You know, Jaden Daniels is out, so that should help us out some. But you know that the quarterback went off last week, so you know you just got it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, this is gonna be hard for me to. They could be getting beat by 110 and be hard for me to come down to cloud nine that I'm on right now. You know what I'm
saying? I wonder why.
And I tell you what, we're gonna change the background for a minute and roll Tide. Alabama beat Georgia in Georgia. I ain't gonna say we own Georgia, but it sure do feel like it.
Well, I tell you what, y'all pretty much own Kirby Smart. He's 1-7 against Alabama, 0-2 versus Caleb DeBoer. So good game, very entertaining. It just, I tell you what, y'all quarterback look like he's gonna be something. He was dialed in, and he can spin that ball. Really impressed me tonight.
It really says something for somebody at this day and age that was the number 2 dual threat quarterback coming out of his class to stay at a school and wait your turn. It's something to be said about that. Was under Saban, now he's under DeBoer. You know, still, of course, you know, we didn't have anybody jump in the portal over spring, you know, which was unheard of. And we took a major ass whooping from FSU. And I mean, it really turned it around. And anybody knows me know I think we're the greatest thing ever walking if we're 0-12. You know, I love my team. I've loved them when we were doing bad. I love them when we're doing great. But this is just one of those things, living in Georgia, the majority of your friends are Bulldog fans. And I mean, I just sit back and be quiet. I don't do all that posting and all that stuff, but you know, it sure is sweet to have that big W up. And like I say, Ty Simpson played great. threw for about 276 for 2 touchdowns, had a rushing touchdown. Georgia's tough, man. Defense is tough. You know, got away with a couple of calls like every team does. So we'll never blame it on the refs. So if you blame it on the refs, shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. You know, so, but it was a couple of things that both teams got away with, like always. We didn't hardly have, you know, any penalties, and that's been something big for us the last couple of years. A lot of penalties, not discipline, and it's starting to turn over. I love how they knew it was going to be loud, so in shotgun they went away from the clap and went to the leg raise, and you know didn't have the one. I think we had one false start. You know, so defense really showed up. Defense really showed up tonight, and we lost one guy to targeting and lost one guy early for a leg injury. And those are both outside linebackers. So, you know, that's our rushing. So, you know, plus that's, you know, they had a lot of plays on the edge out there, Georgia did. When they broke on the edge, we didn't have nobody crashing down on the edge, so that hurt us. But all in all, it ain't nothing like doing that victory formation in somebody else's house, bro. You know what I mean? So, yeah, roll tide.
You know, I'm going to address the Roll Tiders real quick. Now, I know that you've been an Alabama fan since you was a baby. You was born into it. Again, I give Daniel Benton a pass because he know he didn't go to the University of Alabama, but he went to Shelton State, which is
Right.
in
It was right around the corner.
Yeah, he became a fan then. And then I know a lot of people, like I give Drexel Cook, for example, you know, those people went to the University of Alabama.
Right, exactly.
You know, so hey, and again, y'all had a serious run with Nick Saban. There is a lot of fans that became fans because y'all was winners.
Exactly. Just how you never saw so many Patriot fans around.
Right. Or now Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Right.
And,
yeah.
You know, but that's because they're winners. So can't be mad at that. And
you're always gonna have bandwagon jumpers for sure.
Yeah. So, but hey, it is what it is. Congrats to
and I will tell you this: the fan base that we did have because of that left with Saban, left last year when lost his game and really turned their back on after losing at FSU. And I'm all about them leaving. Get the hell on. I don't need no negativity. I don't need
I'm with you on that.
I don't need it. Take your ass on and go like somebody else that wins all the time.
That's how I feel about the Falcons. You know, it's hard, and and you definitely can't compare that because y'all have a winning tradition. Even before Nick Saban, y'all had some years, but y'all have a lot of tradition with the Bear Bryant years and all of that, and even Stallings won a national championship. So but when you think of Falcons, we never won a Super Bowl, have very bad history. Then the two Super Bowls we did make it
in our lifetime, and the only 2 times they've been in our lifetime.
And they was bad. Yeah, against Denver, but they both had bad situations that happened. The Denver one where they were down in Miami, and then of course
Eugene Robinson.
Like really, and and then in this the next Super Bowl, of course the 28-3, which I don't think that will always hurt.
Well, we were Super Bowl champs for a half.
I think what really make it so bad though, losing that way was rough. But I think what really sting was the fact that we never won a Super Bowl.
Right.
So it wasn't like, oh yeah, well y'all let one slip, but y'all won 2 before. No, it's like we never won.
That was gonna be our one.
Yeah, that was gonna be our one.
and we've had to watch New Orleans get one before us, you know, and that's hard to do.
Tampa
To deal
won
with these
2.
Saints fans, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Tampa won 2.
Right. And here we still sit with no Lombardi in sight.
Yeah, that's rough, bro.
Yeah.
That's rough.
But I
But
tell you,
yeah, hey,
yeah, it
what
is
it
what it
is.
is. FSU went down today.
Was it or last night rather?
Last night, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was
So
Virginia. Yeah, that was I mean they falling. Or the Oregon Penn State went in overtime. That was a great game.
yeah.
It was on simultaneously with the Georgia Alabama game. So I was I watching the Georgia game on TV, but then I was watching the Oregon Penn State game on Peacock on my phone.
Yeah.
You know, so shout out to Peacock on that one. You know, so
Go on and shoot us a sponsor. Give us a channel.
hey, like, comment, and subscribe, people.
Absolutely.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Don't you forget it.
But
For Pete's sakes.
but yeah, so and the Georgia Tech, they won in overtime, and that game was very interesting. Wake Forest went for the 2-point conversion. That was ballsy.
Yeah.
They would have got it, they would have won. But so Georgia
Oh,
Tech undefeated. This is the first time being 5-0 in what they say over a decade.
We got Vanderbilt next week. They 5-0.
Right, and
they beat us last year.
Yeah, y'all owe them. That's gonna be
we owe them.
That's gonna be very intriguing.
Yeah. So, what other game did we have that was a good one this today?
Ole Miss beat.
Oh LSU. Yeah, Ole Miss over LSU, converted on that 4th and 3.
Yeah,
at the end of the game.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you, there's something to be said about Lane Kiffin. You know, dude's got a big set of balls, man. You know, no Diddy, but finally got that job at Tennessee, left them in the middle of the night, went to USC. Then all that stuff happened. He goes to Florida. What was it? Not
UCF?
Yeah.
UCF? Yeah.
Might have been, yeah. And then he comes to Alabama on the staff. And just you get to learn about the dude that you really wouldn't pay attention. I like dude, man.
I like him too.
I can't lie. I wanted him to be the next Alabama coach. Because I thought, he would fit right in after being there for so long, But definitely messing with DeBoer right now. And he's 2-0 against Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, shout out Lane Kiffin, man, and Ole Miss for knocking off LSU, which is never an easy task. And it's always them SEC teams that, even with a down year, can ruin your season. So yeah, man, shout out to them. So, and I mean, LSU wasn't having a down year.
Right. Well, it's a murderous row. Because I mean, Ole Miss undefeated, so but they halfway through or near halfway. So, they gotta, if they about to run the gauntlet. Even a team like Auburn is tough. Texas A&M, Tennessee. These schools are. It don't get no easier. Texas.
Yeah. So gonna be real interesting because now it's all SEC. You're gonna have one more Rudy Poo at the end of the season, but every other game is a conference game now.
Right.
You're gonna have that last Rudy Poo game before your rivalry conference game.
Right.
So yeah, man. Love college football, man. It's the best time of the year. BYU's up, done scored again, so they up 24-21 right now, 12 minutes left.
So they just going back and forth, and
Yeah, and the quarterback from Colorado just broke for about 70 yards, but it's gonna be a flag or it's coming back. But hey man, this is Welcome to Wrestling. Let's talk a little bit of wrestling. Just talk about some things that happened through the week and this here and there. One thing about Raw, we'll talk about Raw for a second, and Jey Uso. It definitely looks like we finna have a heel turn. The way his brother Tony, he acting like Roman, and he's always on the phone with Roman. Him and LA Knight, are doing their thing back and forth. Do you think it's too early to turn him heel? You think he's done everything he can as a face the way he's over right now?
that's a great question, man.
You got your
I don't know.
Booker jacket in your on right now. You got the pencil in your hand.
Yeah,
Are you turning him heel right now?
I probably wouldn't go that direction, but hell, what the hell do we know?
Right.
But especially since he's so over, like he still got the biggest pop of the night. When they be eating, like them people come there to eat.
Yeah.
Like you be seeing folks all eating all off beat, and
We're eating all over the place.
yeah, right. And Wade Baird all off tune with his eating, and Michael
Michael
Cole
Cole, even when Pat McAfee, when he's there, he's on top of the table.
on top of the table. So I don't know, man, but you know, I mean, over faces make good heels.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but really, we know he can be a heel. I
Then when
mean,
the before the bloodline is
yeah,
covered,
yeah.
they
So,
heals before the bloodline, after the bloodline.
but the timing of it, I
You
mean,
think it's just something that they could be fishing around with and taking fillers and seeing what people think and just putting little stuff here and there?
basically straddling the line
Yeah, just to see how it might work and might not work.
because they can actually do that with both of them,
Yeah,
Jay and LA Knight.
yeah,
I mean, it clearly don't look like that's the direction they going with LA Knight. If somebody gonna be heel look like gonna be Jay, but they could do that with both of them.
yeah,
LA Knight could be a good heel too,
yeah.
because he got with his whole mouthpiece and and the way he talked. But they both over, but Jey Uso's a different kind of over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. But
I definitely, in my eyes, I really don't think like they, I think it's a little too soon. But again,
yeah,
like what do we know? You know what I mean? They might know something we don't know. Might be setting something up for this, and this. Could be
yeah,
setting up a swerve.
right,
You know, man, who the hell knows?
right.
It's something to wait and see and keep your eye on. That's for sure.
You need to call Michael P.S. Hayes and see what he has to say.
I was watching the other day when they were in war games with the Samoan SWAT team.
Oh man, when he was ready
Polly
to go
Danger,
in.
yeah, Polly Dangerously was out there. He's like, you gotta go next. Do I got to? Do I gotta go in? He used to do his head like that. Look around.
So animated, dog.
Right. And you can say what you want to about P.S. Hayes, dog. He wasn't the best worker, but my God, the mouthpiece, has kept him. The mouthpiece and the mindset has kept him relevant, getting paid in this business for 400 years.
I mean, he's one of the best characters ever, dog.
Ever,
Yeah,
absolutely ever.
yeah.
So man, shout out to P.S. Hayes, man.
I mean, let's be real. I know we off track, but
I like it.
when we talk about Michael P.S. Hayes, though, when I think of the Fabulous Freebirds, All right, there's three. Well, okay, technically there's four of them, but the
Yeah,
three, Buddy,
it's five.
Terry, okay, Bad Street. So so Brad, rest in peace, Brad Armstrong.
Absolutely.
But but when I think of the Freebirds,
Mhm.
Michael P.S. Hayes is the first name that comes to mind for me.
Absolutely. The only
You
person
know,
that can moonwalk better than P.S. Hayes was Michael Jackson.
right? And they both name is Michael.
You
So
know, when they first came on the scene, as far as world class, and they had the Freebird rule. They might come out there with that 6-man tag team trophy. You know what I'm saying? But what a feud they have! But just guys that would just go to every other territory all over the place, raise hell, and go to a next one, and just you want to hear good wrestling stories. You need to look up the Freebirds. With them tearing up they couldn't get in their apartment one day, and nobody had the key, and they asked Bam Bam to yeah, I got the key, Michael, and just kick the door, kick the door in. This is crazy. This money, boy. Hey, boy. Rest in peace to Bam Bam. Rest in peace, Buddy Jack, Bam Bam, and Brad Armstrong.
Hey, you got to do that thing one time, man. With that promo of Smoky Mountain.
Man,
what he say?
you wasn't done, Bam Bam. Tell him that's right. I've been. That might have been after he had that stroke and stuff, though. So, but when that man said, I bet at 10,504 of those cage matches that won every daggone one of them. And then Tracy's brother, you wasn't done, Bam Bam. That's right. That's right. When I get to Kentucky, there's going to be some butts kicked and some names taken.
Oh.
You laugh at that promo because it's funny, okay? But that little clique they had at Smoky Mountain Wrestling,
Yeah.
with Terry Gordy, Brad Armstrong, Robert Gibson, Buddy Landell, the Heavenly Bodies. Oh, bro, that was a mean stable. All of them was faces at one time, except for Buddy Landell. I don't know if he was ever a baby face.
Oh man,
The boy. Rest in peace, Buddy Landell. They had Pat. They even had Pat Tanaka.
damn, Pat Tanaka. Dang.
But that's when Tracy Smothers was the thug. T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail. Because the thug can't spell.
Because a thug can't spell.
Shout out to Smoky Mountain Wrestling, man, Jim Cornette.
Hey man,
That's hilarious, man. But they're serious about the Freebirds real quick. Even though they kind of left Buddy Jack after they did their NWA run, or for their NWA run, they had Bam Bam was part time, and it was just him and Gorgeous and him and Sunshine and Squeeze.
Yeah,
come on, Squeeze. When he was even in the video before he was he was always an honorary.
Yeah, he was always affiliated with
them. Because he was even in the music video.
Yeah, Bad Street.
Yeah, when he was like, I'll never forget when that ambulance driver said somebody should have told them boys about Bad Street USA.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, man. Shout out to Freebirds, dog. We'll do a whole. We got to do a deep dive about the Freebirds one day. Do a whole episode.
Absolutely.
Oh, let's talk. Uh, we'll talk about the Young Bucks for a second. They they're going through the thing at AEW. They lost all their. They're no more EVPs, no more. They're not making as much money. They don't have the pyro and stuff. So they've
Huh.
they've actually brought back being the elite on YouTube. So I
Oh,
thought that
really?
was cool because they had quit doing it for a long time. So if you never watched Being the Elite, you're a wrestling fan, man, check it out. It's hilarious. It's YouTube Being the Elite. BeingTheElite. Being the Elite. Check that out with the Young Bucks. It's basically follows them traveling through, going to different towns and stuff where the shows are at, stuff like that. But good watch, always hilarious. So shout out to Being the Elite and the Young Bucks. Yeah, it's a great storyline though. Because they're coming out. They it gets real quiet. They don't have no pyro. The announcers call them different names. They've been calling them jobbers and all kinds of stuff. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
They're not showing up. They usually when they show up at the venue, they're in the Uber. You know what I'm saying? They not being able to fly private the other day. They were all hunched up mad and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's hilarious, dog. But shout out to Young Bucks Being the Elite. Hey, big announcement though. Cena and AJ Styles at Crown Jewel. So 4 days left. Crown Jewel. After Crown Jewel, there's 3. Been a lot of rumors on the internet about Edge leaving AEW. We actually looked it up. His contract is not up till sometime in 2026, and I think it's mid 2026. So you can take the Edge stuff out of there. I don't see that working out at all. Would be great to see one of his biggest rivals, but I really enjoyed the matches that AJ and Cena had when AJ first came, and when they first got there, and they were it was all about what'd you do last night? Beat up John Cena.
Yeah, with the club.
Yeah, with shout out man Carl Anderson, the good brothers Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows. But but they had some good matches, man. Good matches. Real good pay-per-view matches. So I'm looking forward to them trying to show out in front of that crowd. There's gotta be, if you got 3 appearances, are there 3 more matches? Are there 2 more matches? And who's left? Is it going to fight Brock one more time?
Yeah, I don't know because I know we talked about it last week's episode about the Brock factor. What was the purpose of that squash match?
There's no way he comes in there in that great of shape, does that for a one-off.
Who you talking, Brock?
Yeah.
Oh, I already know that's not a one-off.
Yeah, there's no way.
He's definitely gonna be at WrestleMania doing
Yeah.
something. He's probably gonna be at the Royal Rumble. They probably when they're gonna set that thing up with him and Gunther. If they're gonna decide to do that, which I would look forward to that if that's what they decide they're gonna do. Because that was what was rumored that they was gonna do before the alleged stuff with the whole thing with Vince and that lawsuit came out. And of course Brock's name was all over that. So of course they had to back away from Brock and ain't gonna go down that road. But reason why Brock was on a hiatus. However, but even with the Cena factor, though, why it's one thing that he beat Cena, but why did
squashed him?
Yeah, what was the purpose of that?
They did everything to make it less than a minute.
Right. So now he's fighting AJ, which was a great rivalry, and you know that AJ is like HBK. He can have a good match with anybody for however long he wants to.
Yeah.
So they're gonna tear it up. But your question is, who's gonna be his next opponent? As far as
Right.
Cena.
But let me ask you this. Does he lose again? And now it's like I turn heel and now I can't win and all this start. You know what I'm saying? Like, should I even have one more match? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that would be interesting to go at it that way. I
Right.
don't see that. I don't see that happening, but that would be interesting,
Yeah.
especially if you talk about it mentally.
Yeah.
Uh, but I don't see him losing to AJ, which uh, I mean, I don't think it matters one way or another because
Right.
we know it's a show,
Yeah.
but the way he just lost to Brock Lesnar, I doubt they will have him lose again,
Yeah.
or at least the next match.
Right.
You know, now AJ was in a different stage in his career. Then that'd be different because it's not like this tour is putting people over
Yeah.
per se. He's going against his rivals, CM
Right.
Punk, Randy Orton, AJ Styles. Well, he went against Logan Paul, but he beat Logan Paul. But Cody, but he beat him, then lost to him.
Right.
But it was like, the Punks, the Cenas, like those are nostalgic matchups.
Yeah.
Which of course with AJ. So are they? What if he fight? What if he wrestles two more times or one more time? Is it going to be to put somebody over? And who would that opponent might be?
Yeah.
Who would benefit the most from that currently?
Right. I don't
You
know. That's
know,
deep, dog. It's definitely something to definitely think about. Of course, like keep our eye open, but I don't know what, because you don't have to be stupid creative for these storylines. The retirement tour is the storyline.
right?
You know what I mean? But if you want to add something else to it, I don't know. But like, it's not gonna hurt AJ Styles to lose to John Cena, especially in Saudi Arabia or where. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they'll be in Perth, but
Heard that. That's what I'm.
Australia,
Yeah. But Crown Jewel though.
yeah, right,
Yeah, not
absolutely.
Saudi Arabia, but that because Hey, we need to talk about it too because the WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of people not happy about that one, and we'll talk about that a little later on. It won't have to be tonight, but that's why Saudi Arabia popped up. But yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that. You know, um, but yeah, Crown Jewel's gonna be good. So you're gonna get AJ Cena, Seth, and Cody, and now it's look like you're about to see Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. So
I like that. I like that matchup.
everybody's been wondering, if somebody leaves for 2 weeks, takes 2 weeks off, or ain't on TV for 2 weeks, they start bashing everybody that's in charge.
Yeah,
Miss booking, where's Jacob Fatu at? Man missed about 3 or 4 weeks, came back strong with a great promo and setting a feud up with Drew McIntyre. I think that's going to be amazing.
absolutely.
They're going to go at it. They're going to kick the shit out of each other. They're going to take each other, all the power moves they got to give. And it just depends on who's going to be standing at the end.
Right.
Saying, but that man, you think about Drew McIntyre from how skinny he used to be to being in the 3-man band, getting released, going to TNA, coming back. Then they're not really doing nothing with him when he came back the second time. And to now, in the last couple of years, like we talked about earlier, Ty Simpson, Alabama quarterback. There's something to be said about just keep working and waiting your turn. You know what I'm saying?
Well, even with Drew, you got to think he had that run when it was COVID.
Yeah,
He was champion when they had the Thunderdome.
right,
Like he kind of got, I don't want to say robbed of that moment,
right.
but he kind of got robbed of that moment.
Yeah,
He didn't really have, and that's a part of his chip on his shoulder now. Because they even
right.
talk about the storyline, like, you know, he wants to be champ again, you know, so he can have another run this time
So
with the with.
he's the only champion without a title.
Yeah,
He's a champion without a title. That's what he is. But I think that's gonna be an awesome feud. I can't wait.
absolutely.
Jacob Fatu's getting better. Already was crazy with the move set and everything, but really getting polished up. Plus, he's it's easier to do these promos and stuff when you get to be the character that you already are anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what they say. The best characters are parts of you that are just turned up.
Right.
10 notches. You know what I mean? It's easy to do, but when, like back in the 80s, like the Ultimate Warrior, you think about his promos and none of that stuff made any sense.
Right.
And he was just on and on and on about stuff that nobody knew what he was talking about. It was hard to get over on that stuff. He was over, but it was hard to be a character like that back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
My I kind of look at the Warrior thing a little different because he was super over,
Mm-hmm.
but I think a lot of it was obviously his look and his energy.
Yeah.
Because to your point, his promo, nobody knew what the fuck he was talking about.
He had no idea.
Yeah, he was just spaced out, almost like he was tripping or some shit.
Right.
Or geeked up on some coke or something. Something was wrong with that guy. But you also knew he was different when he changed his name to Warrior legally.
His real name, yeah.
Yeah, he was
Warrior here.
Yeah, he
present.
was right. He was a different cat. He was a different kind of dude. And I think what killed his run, he got out of favor with Vince because he was like, he thought he was bigger than the business.
Right.
And
he
just
definitely thought he was better than Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, you hear the story about how he held Vince up
up
for money with that SummerSlam or whatever, and and stuff like that. And they said Vince paid him and then fired him. He just wanted to get the match in the ring, and get that over with. But but then he hired him back. So it was very iffy. But the crowd loved him. So I just think a lot of that was just that dude was crazy.
It was
the way he did business behind the scenes was his downfall.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right about that. And Warrior, he was not a good worker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was over, but he,
yeah,
you've heard so many different stories.
Yeah.
With Andre, telling him to slow down and he going too fast, and this was wild, man.
Right.
And this one of those guys that only cared about himself.
Yeah.
And that can get real dangerous in a sport like professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Because you look at wrestling now, like wrestling is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? A lot, as far as when a lot of these guys want to do all these high spots and stuff, and it's hard to take care of somebody in the ring when you're constantly jumping from here, and here. And jumping out. Of course, we love it because it's what it's evolved to. But bro, anybody that says wrestling is fake is they clearly are not looking at the product. They just going off of what they heard.
You know,
especially now.
put yourself in the opponent's mind frame though. Just like what you said. Imagine you wrestling with just a Ricochet, a Will
Yeah,
Ospreay, and they're calling out all these crazy spots. You
right.
know, Irish with me. I'm gonna springboard and do a corkscrew, and you gotta catch me, and you like what? What? You know,
And then the next thing you know, here he goes. And
yeah,
one,
yeah,
and if you're half a foot or six, 3 inches away, somebody get messed up.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
That's like
So
I'd be scared when they be doing them dives, when they be outside the ring, and when they'll do like a forward flip or, because sometimes when they be catching them, it don't always go right.
that's why I'm
So
more of a fan of the forward flip. If you're gonna
yeah,
jump and you flip, at least you're gonna know you're gonna land somewhere right here 90% of the time.
yeah, yeah,
The Usos scare me when they do that thing where they just die like the freaking Undertaker used to do. They
yeah.
just dive over the rope.
Well, that
You
was the
know,
only thing wrong WrestleMania 25 match when Undertaker did that shit.
bro. He's lucky. He's lucky. He ain't like Jason Street on Friday
Hey,
Night Live,
yeah, for
being
real.
in that wheelchair. Good boy. That was nasty.
Yeah, that was the
That
only
was
thing that was
scary.
wrong with that match.
Yeah, that was scary. But hey, let's slide over here and we'll wrap it up in a minute. But I'll talk about Brian Knobs for a minute and get your opinion on something that I've been thinking about for a minute.
It's just nasty.
And you know, it's sad, that he's injured and having to have all these surgeries and stuff, and his foot's not healing, and he can't work, can't do this, can't do that. You think it's okay for wrestlers to ask fans for money for bills and surgeries and stuff? What do you think about that? Because you can go back to plenty of them. Jake the Snake, they raised. He needed $9,200 to get his hip replaced. They did a GoFundMe and raised over 20,000. All fans. Sabu back in 2016, and there's plenty of. He also needed hip replacement. You know, but it's to the point now where it's on Facebook. I hate to ask, but my rent's due, and this, and this, and this is all on his page. So, and I'm not sitting here saying it's wrong or right or wrong. I'll give my opinion, but I was just curious. What do you think? Do you think it's okay? Because I've seen there's a lot of wrestlers that even the guy with the Raja Jackson thing, he had to GoFundMe for medical
See,
work.
talking about the
Psycho Stu or whatever his name was.
yeah, Psycho too.
Yeah, he had to GoFundMe. So, and people have done it. Hell, when my mom got messed up, man, we needed that porch done. We did it for a minute for that porch, and we didn't get what we needed. And also, it felt like, I just turned the thing off because it just felt weird asking people, hey, because everybody's had to ask them for, hey man, loan me this, loan me that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, well,
it almost didn't feel right. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, that's that part right there is pride.
Yeah, I guess so.
Uh, yeah, what you're talking about with what you had to go through with that situation, like I said, it don't feel right because uh, we all need help from time to time. We all do it, and it might not always be a money thing. It could be anything. We always gonna need help. do something else. Look
Right.
at sports. It's a team. So the
Yeah.
left tackle got to help the left guard block the center, and then block the D
Yeah.
line. So the runner help the running back gain yards, so help the fucking football team win the damn game.
Yeah.
So, and I know that just going completely off of the question, but my thing with Brian Knobs, as far as a GoFundMe for wrestlers and anybody, um, I've been into the lowest low. Lord knows I have. Uh, you know, so I'm kind of weird about that
Yeah.
when people ask for money, because if somebody got use a GoFundMe, then by all means, Lord bless that person. If
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
what if it's the wrestling fans, or it might be a guy who used to wear leather coats like the Nasty Boys in 1995,
Yeah.
and dude like damn Brian Knobs need a hip replacement surgery, and he need $8,000, and I can afford to get that man 1,200. Then Lord, by means, let that man get that man $1,200.
I can hear you.
But it is sad though, because it's like, damn, we don't know what their finances was or whatever. So it
Right.
makes you wonder, like, okay, what have you been doing with your money? Or what have you been doing lately in your life? I mean,
Right.
you've been out of the ring 15, 20 years, or
Yeah.
well, maybe not. You know how a lot of those folks still go to the convention, or some of them still wrestle. So of course,
But see, that's another thing that I think about. You go, they got all these autograph signings and stuff. Man, that stuff ain't cheap.
right?
You got to pay to go there. Dang, BYU just beat Colorado
Damn.
24-21. Oh, Prime little piss. Dang. But you go to these wrestling events, bro. It is not cheap. It
Right.
ain't cheap at all. Especially WWE. Let's just
Yeah.
put it out
Well,
there.
look, I
They have
told you,
got
go
their,
there.
their stuff has shot up ridiculous
With everything, dog.
with everything. It's ridiculous. All the prices that they got now, far as the even sitting in the nosebleeds. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't going to sit in the nosebleeds anyway. We done got spoiled anyway. If we ain't on the floor, we ain't happy. You know what I'm saying? So, and it makes it rough to go to these shows. And I don't see how some people do it. Like you got a couple of fans that are at everything,
Yeah, I know.
and that's crazy. I need to get on where they work at. You know what I'm saying? But in AEW, they're not WWE prices, but you want to sit on the floor, you're gonna have to pay a couple of bucks. You go to the autograph signing, and no wrestler in the autograph is signing anything for free. Nothing. Most of them have already been paid. They've been paid
Right.
by whoever that vendor is, and that vendor's
Right.
charging you now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
to make their money back.
Right. And then some. They trying to make money too.
Right.
So like, we talk about, let's just be real. Like, we do have a couple of guests lined up. It is going to happen, but guess what? These guests don't come on for free. You know what I'm saying? Not
Right.
the ones that we're trying to get. They don't. And these guys they're not out the business, but somewhat out of the spotlight.
Right.
Because we like old school wrestling and stuff like that, but it still ain't free.
Hell no.
And it costs. So my thing is you shout out the fans. If it weren't for the fans, I wouldn't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? But now you're still asking the fans for more. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
true.
it just, it caught me off guard because it was like, I'm not working, my rent's due, and I hate to make this post, but that sounds like anybody that's ever called and asked me for a couple dollars. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, it's rough and it's sad. I mean, basically summed up, it's sad,
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not going to be honest, and I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I'm not gonna look down on
No, I'm
because
not looking. Yeah, I'm not looking down on
I,
anybody. It
I'm
just,
I, I'm just saying this in general though. Like, what if it was Brian Knobs or if it's the man that's standing off the exit on Windy Hill that's
right,
holding the sign? Because we don't know if that person is scamming because there are some that do that,
right,
or we don't know that that person could have been on their feet and was alcoholic for some reason, which that's their own discretion, that's their
right.
own fault, but we don't know, or maybe that person mentally ill,
Yeah, true
we
that.
or lost their wife, or we don't know what these people's stories
Yeah,
are, and I just try to have empathy for that, and I just pray that whatever that person's going through can make it out with
yeah.
sanity and
You're definitely a
you know
baby face for sure.
what if it's Brian Nas? But it is sad though,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is sad.
I just, it's I just want to say this. It costs a lot to be a wrestling fan. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, absolutely.
It costs a lot. Anything that you want to do to enjoy wrestling besides even watching it now costs a lot. So you gotta have this, you gotta have that. Anytime any merch is gonna be crazy. And the majority of the time, 98% of the time, unless you run into them at the airport or something, you want to get a wrestler autograph, you're gonna have to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I thought I'd pick your brain, you know. And to be honest, I tell you the truth, I really don't know how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you. But
I'm just more, I hate to use that word again, but it's more of a downer. Like it's sad to see
yeah,
that,
yeah, it really is
uh
because of people you watched and stuff, but it tells you how rough it is on the body. But it's also, it's also something from diabetes too, and not taking care of yourself as well.
yeah,
You
well, I
know what I'm saying?
can relate to that. That's why I'm saying
Right.
I got a different kind of,
So it's not like we can really blame that on wrestling and stuff.
yeah.
So, but we don't know, man. Just going off what we read. But when I saw the post on the man page, I hate to ask, but rent's due. I'm not working right now. My leg's not healing. You know, anybody could donate. You know what I mean? And it's like at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to survive. I guess you
That's
could say
that's my
that.
point. Is I
Yeah, you got
mean,
to do what you got
because
to do to survive.
it's
But
it's almost it's almost like, okay, I'm gonna go back to the Alabama game. You remember when Brian Williams dropped that pass at the beginning of the game, that first drive when that was an easy touchdown?
yeah,
Nobody felt worse than he did at that very moment.
true.
Now, he know that every Alabama fan was cussing him out. He knew that every coach on the sideline was like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" He know his quarterback probably looked at him in the huddle, was like, "Damn, dude, like really?" But they got over that, and they had a beautiful drive in gutted Georgia and nickel and dime them all the way down the field and score that touchdown to go ahead, you know. But and then Brian also made some tough plays later on in that game, some key third downs, you know.
Mhm. Yeah,
So, but the point is that for a person, just like you mentioned earlier, with getting your porch done, you said it didn't feel right. That
yeah,
pride. Nobody imagine how Brian Niles felt when he was typing that, and he had to really go to Facebook
yeah,
and that's a real humbling experience, dog.
It is, man. You're right
Because
about that. You're
yeah,
definitely right about that.
yeah.
And I
So
ain't never been in the limelight and been on TV for 10, 15 years straight either.
yeah, God bless his heart, man. I just
Yeah,
pray prayers for him with he, and that really on that. So
yeah, yeah. And we'll move on. Let's talk about one more thing before we well, two more things before we call it a night. And
okay.
let's talk about ESPN. Their response to the WrestlePalooza was, I don't know what the hell to say about that. They didn't like the show. They thought the show was not good at all. That no, there were no surprises. Just dog the show. But it's also
Now, when you say ESPN, is that the executives that's saying this,
the people that
or is the fan base? Is this the WWE fan base saying it,
no, no, no,
or
no.
is this
This is ESPN employees reporting
okay? Oh,
on
okay,
on
okay.
WWE.
Oh, they just being haters, dog. That's all that is. Yeah, they
But
they don't get it.
also coming from top tier,
Yeah.
not happy with nothing that happened that night. So but you say haters, but I'm wondering why in the world. First of all, why would you allow an employee to bash something you are dumping billions of dollars into?
That's a great point right there, what you just said there.
Why would you let that person do that? There, and then why would they have any kind of evidence of you saying it? A top tier person in the company. You know what I'm saying? Like
Who?
that.
So I didn't read any of this, uh, but I did hear that they graded like a C show.
Mhm.
Which I get about like they actually a C plus B minus. Like I said, it wasn't the best show,
Right,
but I didn't think it was bad either. But again, just like I've been saying, even with the Netflix premiere, what are these people expecting? Have they been watching the product?
right.
If you've been watching the product, you pretty much know they pretty consistent with how they do their shows and how they tell their stories.
5 matches, a lot of
Yeah.
5 matches, and
I,
getting away from ESPN. But a lot of people are upset with the 5 match. They want 8 match cards.
yeah. I mean, but see, they went through it to a different formula because what they do with the 5 matches, they have longer matches.
Yeah, you give people longer to work,
Yeah.
longer to
Yeah.
tell a story.
Right.
Nobody
So the
wants, man.
quality of the matches are better to me.
Yeah, if you're watching Cody and John Cena, the second match or the first match, do you want to see 10 minutes or you want to see 25? I want to see
Right.
25.
Yeah.
I want to see them go at it. I want to see them have to regroup and pull out all the stops. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I think one of the things that's throwing the people off, since they only have the 5 matches though, they don't get to see everybody every PLE,
Right. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like even the world champion defend the title this month, and then next month to be Cody defending the title, and Seth is in a tag match, or he's off, and or then they'll defend it on Saturday night's main event instead, and they got all these different events, these spot shows and stuff that they kind of spread the wealth,
Right.
if you will. That's
If you
why
will.
that's why when they have the SummerSlam, the WrestleMania to 2 nights, everybody get to work. Then they still having the same formula, 5 to 6 matches,
Right.
but you still having the long matches. But hell, it's WrestleMania, so we gonna do night one, night two, but I like the formula.
Yeah,
The
I like
quality of the
longer
matches.
matches.
Yeah,
Everybody can't have the longer matches, and we know that, and
yeah,
they'll figure all that out. But you know, the majority of these guys can't go. Plus, you couldn't put everybody on the same show that night if you wanted to.
right,
Every PLE'd have to be 3 days, 2 days. If you wanted the
right,
whole damn roster on there,
right.
you know. So shoot. But I just thought it was weird how, that's it just didn't make no sense that they would bash the company from the own, it's still coming from ESPN. And you'll
Who
bash.
are there names? Like who are some people
No,
that
I read the article. I didn't read the
okay?
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
wonder, like, was Stephen A. Smith hating on First Take?
No, it wasn't nothing like that. It was just a journalist that was talking about how,
Yeah,
journalists, but yeah. But
yeah. I just like I said, even back when the Netflix started, and people was like, even though it was some YouTubers I listened to, but even the whole narrative, people was just like, well, it was, like, well, what do you expect from the show? Like, y'all thought it was gonna be WrestleMania? Like
right,
they are. I mean, but they did extra stuff. But
yeah,
what are y'all? It's still the product though. They're not going to have a complete facelift when what they've been doing is what got them the $1 billion contracts.
yeah. But you
You
know
know they
what? You always gonna have the haters. You always gonna have the negative publicity, and
right.
everybody that looks at it. It could be fine and mean like Rosalind Dean, and they'll still be hating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's you got to take that for what it is, and that could be just that personal opinion. I just don't understand why they would let it out. Like, why would ESPN? Because if it's somebody employee there, then that's ESPN saying it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I just didn't understand that part, and I thought that was weird. But to your point, it's like, what are you expecting to have? You can't have a WrestleMania once a month. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just that doesn't work like that. So, but I, everything that you watch on social media, on YouTube, the YouTubers you watch that I watch, the majority of them have everybody. It just seems like everybody I watch is always negative.
Right. Yeah.
Everything's negative. Even somebody on here coming, WWE sucks.
Yeah. Right.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, how in the world do they suck? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But thank you for commenting shit. But, just tell us, how do they suck? How does WWE suck? You know what I mean?
Elaborate. Yeah, yeah,
Please.
yeah. Get
I'm
in the
dying to hear
comment.
that one.
Elaborate. Tell us
Yeah.
why. Thanks, though. Like, comment, and subscribe, people,
Right,
just like
please.
that
Yeah.
gentleman did.
But shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? If I was smart enough to look at the comment while we're doing this show, I'd shout your name out. But luck has it, I ain't. So fuck it.
Shout out to the comment, man.
Hey, my man, you get the. Oh man, but we got Crown Jewel coming up. Shout out to Isabella Wilder, man, the Southern Belle,
Hey,
man, out
that
there
I'm glad
doing the
you
damn
said that.
thing.
I'm glad you said that, man. She putting in
Local.
some work.
Hey, she's a local indie wrestler. She's in her first couple of months of working, and she's already getting booked all over the place.
Yeah,
Man, she's
man.
out there kicking ass, man. We proud of her. We will have her on here soon. We already had
Southern
her.
Belle.
Yeah, we had her on once, but had some technical issues, and we haven't been able to record it again. So, but we're gonna get her on here real soon. But man, shout out to the Southern Belle, man.
Yeah, man. She doing the damn thing, man.
Yeah, man, super proud of her, man. Shout out to her mom, Tiffany Wilder. Y'all, hey man, keep going on the show, keep showing up, keep showing out for her. Um, Talk about suicide dives, man. She does the she does that.
Hey,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah. But got a unique style that I really like her style, bro. I really like the way she works in the ring. I really like I'll tell you before, I'm a real fan of when she just stops and then goes like 100 miles an hour real fast into something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she
Like,
gutsy too, man. She
yeah.
like not afraid to take chances and
Oh,
stuff,
she
you
ain't
know,
no
with
punk by far. She's
yeah,
a
yeah,
tough young lady. And we expect big things out of her, man. Big things out of her.
absolutely.
Shout out to the Southern Belle, man. But
Absolutely.
yeah, and y'all will meet her real soon on here. But check her out. I will get her we'll get all her social media and stuff when she comes on here. And then y'all can all check her out and everything. So but yeah, man. Episode 41. Talking shit. Welcome to wrestling.
Welcome to wrestling.
Hey man, like, comment, subscribe. And because we ain't stopping, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here and make something out of this till it kills us.
Hey, go Falcons.
Oh yeah.
Go Falcons.
And and real quick,
Please.
please like, comment, subscribe, go Falcons, and roll Tide.
Welcome to Wrasslin, Chetty Bobby. Welcome to Wrasslin with Big E and the PODCAST, tag champs of the whole world, slamming like a DDT. Got it like just like a figure four. Hulk Hogan, all they do is flex. Talking wrestling while they get the dough. Off the top like a superplex. Think they letting up? Hell no. Dusty Rose with the elbow. From the corner like a stinging splash straight to the face. I know you felt those. Hey, y'all crying out for help though. Rising up like the dead man. About to go upside your head like Stone Cold with the bedpan. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to wrestling where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. Bottom line, if you want the facts, welcome to wrestling where you need to be. Chetty Bobby, this show improved like John Cena, you ain't seeing me. See